Hello. What I wanted to do today with this video is give you a walkthrough of the outside and inside of our camper. This is a Rockwood mini Lite made by Forest River. The model number is 2509S and it was made back in 2017. So this is the outside of the camper. It's 25 feet in length. And then my husband also added a rack to the back, and we'll look at that in a little bit. But if you want to come closer, there is an awning that comes out to give us shade. The button is on the inside, and we have that come in and out. Then when you climb in, you can see some of the inside of the features that we liked when we were looking for our camper. This model has a Murphy bed, and so a Murphy bed actually folds up into the front part of the camper. So when we go to put it down, we have to lay the couch flat. Then we unlock these hitches, lay it down, and then the bed comes out. So that allows you to have the feeling of a little bit more space in the camper, especially when you're only talking 25 feet. Each side comes with a shelf or a cupboard, I guess you can say, and some drawers. I had my husband go ahead and build me some shelves on here so that I could actually have my clothes separated out a little bit. And then I decided on the other side to make this a bookshelf. And so it houses some of our school stuff and some of the books that we need for road schooling and doing our school on the road. Over here we have a large pantry. So we put linens in here, hammocks, cups, dustpans, flashlights, other little things that we would need on the road. It's nice and deep. This one came with the shelves already installed. Another thing that we liked about this particular camper was this whole section up above the dinette has storage, so it's one big long storage space. And then also this is a dinette that comfortably sits 4 people. Could probably fit a little bit more than that. This also lowers down into a bed, and so this is another place that people can sleep. The camper will actually sleep 6. Also down here we have some drawers. So you notice I have to tug a little bit. That is so that while you're riding down the road and the camper's jostling, it just doesn't come out easily. So everything needs a good tug when you're using something in the camper. This is our double sink. So we have 2 spots for washing. We have a television inside. I know some people worried that if we would have any television. Also a microwave, a 3-top gas burner, and a very small oven. More drawers on the side. And then this is our freezer and refrigerator. Very small, but it was enough to get us through. We've got some drawers down there and to house the things that we needed. This is the boys' bunks. So we have a top bunk and a bottom bunk. One of the things we liked about this particular model is that this side will actually fold up. And so this is storage all the way back. So back before we had a bike rack, we used to put the boys' bikes in here. But when we were on our trip, this was our homeschool books. It was drawers full of clothes, bags with the boys' clothes in it, because they don't have any built-in shelves in this one. We did add some pictures up on the wall, and then there is one outlet in the lower bunk, and then each bunk has its own light. Over here is another large cupboard, and so this was all for food storage. So we kept that full. This is also our restroom. So 1 bathroom for all 3 of us. So this has its own sink, medicine cabinet, has a shower too. That was important that we had everything we needed here in the camper so that we really didn't have to use an outside shower source if we didn't need to. got a nice skylight too for those of us that are tall. We added a rack for our towels. So it's really trying to make the most of the storage that you have and the space that you have when you're living inside of it. So let's take a peek outside. So this camper came with a gas grill. We keep it stored away, but it hooks onto this space out here along with the smaller table. And then this is the hose that allows us to get gas to the grill. So a lot of the cooking we actually did outside. This also has the option to plug in the television. It's got a couple extra outlets and then a spot for you to put the television from the inside and to bring it outside. Another great feature that we really like is our outdoor kitchen. And so this whole rack will slide out. We have another small fridge outside here. This is a sink. We've got some other drawers and then another burner. So this is a great feature that really keeps us outside more, and really most of the time we are just cooking outdoors. If you want to take a peek out back, I told you about some of the things that my husband built for me. He welded this rack on, and so this container has toilet paper in there, raincoats, basically just more storage. This is a portable gray tank. Gray tank is your fresh water that you use for brushing your teeth, for taking a shower. And so this is for if we didn't have hookups at a campground and we needed water or needed to dump one of our gray tanks, that we could actually fill this and then roll it down to the dump station. We kept chairs on the back also. There's a spare tire there. And then we also kept regular gas and diesel gas, since my husband's truck runs on diesel fuel, on the back just in case we ever ran out. And then this is the generator. So if we needed electricity in a location and they allow generators, that we would be able to turn this on, plug the camper in, and have electric. So right now you probably see that we are plugged into the electric. Most campgrounds, when you just pull up, will have the feature. And so you just plug right into their source at your site. I would also have to plug in our city water here with a hose, and that's what allowed water to come from the campground into our camper. And then this down here is our tanks, and where we let the waste come out. So there's a gray tank and a black tank, and one of my jobs would be to dump both of those tanks. I talked to you earlier about the gray tank being your dirty water. I'll let you imagine what the black tank was. So never a lot of fun, but something that's necessary when you're camping and you have the facilities inside. This is more storage that went underneath the dinette. So this is a lot of the things that we needed for our setup, just to get our water and electric into the camper. Over here is more storage. This was more storage. This actually runs underneath the bed and goes from one end of the camper to the other side. So a lot of our sports equipment is in there, along with more things that we need to set the camper up. It's a little messy, and I see a spider's moved in. But these are all things that I would have to do. Tire chocks, putting up and down the stabilizer jacks. These yellow blocks are also what the jacks typically rest on. When we pulled in them, my husband just left them down on the ground. Over here are the weight distribution bars. So that helps to keep the camper more steady when I'm going down the road. We had installed our bike rack, so that way we can travel with our bikes on the front. And then underneath this black piece of plastic are 2 gas tanks, propane gas. And so you have to monitor those, because that's what gives us a source of electricity or power. That's also what we use for cooking. This is our camper jack up and down, because one of the things that I would have to do would be to hook the chains up to the back of the truck, put this down onto the ball of the truck so that I can tow it down the road. So if you want to do a quick turnaround, this was the big truck that I was driving. So probably by the time everything was said and done, I was at least at 50 feet hauling down the road, probably a little bit more. Big truck, but definitely was able to handle the job. So I hope you enjoyed a quick tour of our mini Lite. We have enjoyed having it. It does make for some close quarters when you're living in it all the time, but I think it was enough to get us where we needed to go and make me confident in going down the road and hauling it.